Everybody stand by. Good evening, and welcome to a meeting of the Council of the City of Long Beach held Tuesday, October 1st, 2024 at 7 p.m. We'll have a roll call. Councilmember Bendo.
Present.
Councilmember Lester.
Here.
Councilmember Reinhardt.
Here.
Vice President Fiamara.
Here.
President Finn.
Present.
Let the record indicate the presence of City Manager Dan Creighton and Corporation Counsel Frank DeCranis. We'll now have a salute to the flag.
Place your hands over your heart. Repeat after me, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Welcome to our City Council meeting for October 1st. We missed all of you 2 weeks ago. We were at NICOM training, learning a lot about city management and government affairs, so it was worth it for me to be there. I think Dan would probably agree.
Very good. Very good.
Our city manager's report.
Okay, good evening, and thank you for attending the meeting tonight. I'd like to start out by saying that our thoughts and prayers are with all those impacted by Hurricane Helene. Over 100 people have lost their lives, and the scale and severity of this damage is extensive. But we here in Long Beach understand, given our own experiences from Sandy. This is a stark reminder of the importance of being prepared for emergencies. With 2 months left in the hurricane season, I urge our residents to continue to visit our longbeachny.gov site, /LBReady, to ensure they have all the information they need for a variety of emergencies, and also to sign up for the city's emergency notification system. Some of you may have noticed that last week, National Grid began working to replace gas mains on East Park Avenue between Edwards and Riverside. Lane closures have been necessary to facilitate this work, so drivers should give themselves a little extra time to use alternate routes. Work began on the northernmost lane, followed by installation of a main on the southernmost lane. The roadway will be completely repaved after the work is completed. The Walks water main replacement project has also commenced. Our contractor is currently working along Olive Street and will proceed to Walnut when complete with Olive. They are also currently working with homeowners in the Walks to assess existing conditions in preparation for replacing the mains in the individual walks themselves. With respects to the pool, we understand any frustration our residents have. The technician is on site today, and we expect repairs to be complete within the next 48 hours. Filling the pool and getting the pH and chlorine levels correct will take the better part of the week, so if all goes well, the pool will reopen late next week. We know this has been an inconvenience and has taken longer than we had hoped, but we are providing membership extensions to those who have been impacted. Please note that we use a low bid contract for this work, and we had to get the contractor back in from out of state, so it was a little bit more lengthy than we would have liked. This Saturday, the city will once again be partnering with the Ancient Order of Hibernians to hold the 35th Annual Long Beach St. Brendan the Navigator Irish Heritage Parade and Festival. The festival starts at 10 a.m. on Beach Street, and the parade steps off from Washington Boulevard at 11 a.m. sharp. The AOH and the city have worked very hard to re-energize this festival this year and look forward to welcoming back carnival rides at Virginia Avenue and live music and dancing at Maryland Avenue. Next Saturday and Sunday is the city's 26th annual Fall Festival. It's a great event for everybody in the city. The festival takes place from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. each day and features carnival rides, a pumpkin patch, hay rides, arts and craft vendors, a wine and food tent again, and on Sunday is the Children's Halloween Costume Parade. We look forward to seeing everyone there. Lastly, I want to wish our DPW commissioner well on his retirement. He worked for the city for 37 years and was an integral part of many transformative city projects. We wish him all the best on his retirement. With that said, I will conclude the city manager's report.
Thank you, Dan.
Okay. First item this evening is a public hearing for a local law amending the charter of the City of Long Beach regarding assessment, levy, collection of taxes.
Okay, so this item allows Long Beach to participate in tax abatements to Gold Star parents. Currently, New York State tax exemptions are applicable only to veterans and their spouses unless a municipality allows for the same to be applied to a Gold Star parent. If you agree, we will opt into the exemptions being extended to those who lost a child who made the ultimate sacrifice while serving in the armed forces during a period of war. Thank you.
Comments from the council?
Great idea.
Ray, do we need to define what a Gold Star parent is in the charter? Because we define combat veteran, war veteran, disabled veteran. Do we need to add a...
No, we don't. It's defined in the state law, which is referenced in the city charter.
Okay, which brings me to my follow-up question. Section 458A of New York State tax law defines a period of war, and it goes through it's Vietnam, it's World War I, World War II, Korea. What it doesn't seem to include is Afghanistan. It doesn't include troops doing peacekeeping missions anywhere. So
It does Afghanistan, Iraq War, Desert Storm, and there's a caveat if you earn a medal. So if like Panama, Grenada, stuff like that, Special Forces mission where you got a medal that we
okay,
don't know
because
about.
I've read it. It says the last war it lists is the Persian Gulf conflict, which commenced on August 2nd, 1990. That's how it's written in Section 458A. Now, unless there's somewhere else.
I have documentation where it's the Persian Gulf is still open from 1990 till today.
I mean, what I'm looking is I want to make sure we're not excluding veterans of, or families of
No, we're not.
people who served in Afghanistan and other theaters.
No, we have
that
many veterans
may
already
have
that
been-
served in Iraq and Afghanistan that do have the veterans exemption.
Okay, so we'll include them then.
Yes.
Okay. And I don't know if you would notice, do we even have any Gold Star parents in Long Beach?
The reason why this is on, because I have a application from someone who bought a home in Long Beach a few years ago.
Okay.
They have the exemption of the county, and they inquired about getting it with Long Beach.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
And, sorry, and if we pass this tonight, when does it take effect?
It'll be for the 2025-26 tax roll.
Okay.
So next year.
Comments, questions from the public? All right, thank you.
Thank you, Ray.
You're welcome.
Close it.
Close the hearing. Okay. On to the regular calendar. Item 1 is a local law amending the Charter of the City of Long Beach regarding assessment levy collection of taxes. A hearing has been held on this item already. Item 2 is a resolution authorizing transfer of funds for the 24-25 fiscal year.
Okay, this item allows us to move funds in beach maintenance from overtime to contingency salary to handle a request for a payout of accumulated leave for a hardship. By union contract, this is allowed, but money must be moved as this was not budgeted for.
Comments from the council? Questions from the public? Okay, close that.
Item 3 is also a resolution authorizing transfer of funds for the 24-25 fiscal year.
Okay, this item is to move money from contingency into salary in the Water Pollution Control Department. We are aware of a potential retirement of an operator and must be able to hire a replacement. However, the process to become a certified operator takes at least a year. Since the water plant must be staffed with a certified operator 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, we have to get somebody on board as a trainee so that he can be certified in a year. If the person does retire within a year, we'll have to cover his shifts with overtime until such time as we get a certified employee ready for covering that shift.
Okay. Comments from the council?
Again, okay. I know we did this recently with another water person. Do you remember how long ago that was?
I'm not positive, but I could check. Would you happen to know? Or
Was it the water?
Yeah, don't mix water
Yeah,
and
because I was
sewer.
gonna say, it could have been
This
sewer. This is-
water
this-
plant
this
or
is
sewer
sewer.
plant.
Right.
So
This
both,
is
by the way,
sewer.
both water and sewer do need a certified operator 24/7, so
Yeah.
it would be the same thing in either case, but I don't know which,
Yeah,
I think that was sewer.
I think it's a money-saving thing, but
Right.
I'm just not sure when we did it last.
Excuse me?
I'm just not sure when we did it last.
Oh,
It was pretty busy.
I'm not sure either, but I think it was the water plant.
Yeah.
You guys covered everything I was going to tell you. The senior operator will be gone by March, and if we hire now, we will nip it in the bud, so to speak, and we will reduce overtime substantially after about a month or so. And we will be around for at least 2 or 3 more years, so it makes a lot of sense.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tyrone.
Just,
Thank you.
Tyrone, just one more quick. Does this person understand the plant is going to shut down in 2 or 3 years?
Yes, I have spoken with him. I will reiterate the fact, and he will most likely be absorbed by the water plant, which is always
Looking for people.
short-staffed anyway. So, and it only takes about another about a year to go from to get the certification from one sewer plant to the water plant. It's Department of Health as opposed to the DEC, but it is doable, and it's a lot of the same knowledge, so it shouldn't be
Okay.
that big of a deal.
Okay, thanks.
Any other questions?
That was my question.
Question from the public?
Thank you,
All right,
Tyrone.
thank you, Tyrone.
Item 4 is also a resolution authorizing transfer of funds for the 24-25 fiscal year.
Okay, this item is to move money from regular salary to termination pay for the Department of Public Works. We had 2 retirements that were not budgeted for, including the Commissioner of Public Works. And we wanted to make sure that the money was properly moved from the regular salaries line into the contingency/termination pay. We should be able to cover this with the regular salary line because one of the people have been out for a while. We haven't replaced her yet. And the second one, will take some time to get a replacement for the commissioner.
Right. Comments, questions from the council? Question from the public? All right, close that.
Item 5 is a resolution authorizing transfer of funds for the 24-25 fiscal year.
Okay, so item 5 allows us to buy 2 scales to be installed on 2 of our new sanitation trucks. Funds will be moved from expected savings in waste removal, as we're renegotiating our contracts now, and put into machinery and equipment line to cover the cost of the scales. We want to have scales on the sanitation trucks to more properly align with the way in which we pay our bills for sanitation charges from Sanitary District 1. It's based on weight and tonnage, so the proper way to look at billing in the future to commercial properties is by tonnage.
Question from the council?
Just one question, Dan. You say weight and tonnage. That's not the same thing?
It is. We're charged by the tonnage, which is weight,
Okay,
but we
that's-
currently don't charge our commercial districts based on tonnage. We charge by cubic footage, and which is not the proper cubic yardage, which is not the proper way to do it. So we're looking at revamping the way we do
Just
it.
so it's all weight?
Yep, it's all weight. Yep.
Okay, thanks.
Any other questions? Questions from the public? All right, close that.
Item 6 is resolution authorizing the city manager to extend the current agreement for animal shelter services.
Okay, so this item allows us to extend the current agreement for animal shelter services with Posh Pets. The existing contract allowed for a 2-year renewal period through October 16th of 26 at a cost of $123,165. Just to note, Posh Pets, I believe, was allowed to increase their contract by CPI. They agreed to keep their rate steady, and I have Rich DePalma here if you have any further questions.
Questions from the council? Any question from the public? All right, thank you, Rich.
Thanks, Rich.
Okay, Okay, item 7 is a resolution authorizing the city manager to purchase a police records management system and computer-aided dispatch software system under Grant County, Washington contract.
So this item is to purchase a new records management system and computer-aided dispatch system with 365 Labs. Our current records management with Central Square is no longer being supported, and this software is critical to the daily operations of the police department. An extensive search was done by comparing multiple new platforms by our police department and information technology department. 365 Labs was deemed the best solution. I would like our police commissioner, Rich DePalma, to give a short presentation, and he'll be available for any questions after the presentation.
Thank you. So why are we here? Our RMS system, our records management system, is basically is the one we have now. Impact is coming to an end. Its service life is over. The company will no longer support it, and our RMS systems are necessary for operations in the police department. Our RMS systems are a software suite that houses all of the information the police department takes in. It's basically our brain. All the intelligence we take in goes into our RMS system. It's very important for our daily operations. All of our files, dispatching, case, arrests, citations, property and evidence is all logged in our RMS system. And RMS systems contain very sensitive information, a lot of personal information that the police department gathers, and also all the sensitive cases that we investigate. Next slide, please. So when it comes to picking a new when it comes to picking a new RMS system, we have certain metrics that we wanted to cover. First and foremost is data security. All the information, as I said before, all the information we take in is very sensitive, so security is of prime importance to us. As some of you may know, in 2022, Suffolk County had a data breach. Hackers went into their system and they took their data, stole their data, and they were charging a $2.5 million ransom. Suffolk County didn't pay the ransom. They were able to get out of it, but however, Newsday reports that the Suffolk County spent $25 million to get out of that, to rectify that situation and get out of that situation. Next slide, please. So these are just some articles right here relating to the Suffolk County data breach, and that's Suffolk County operating out of a trailer. They were down for 6 months. Next slide, please. So some other metrics that we want for our RMS system, which 365 Labs has, is we want a fully automated CAD system. A CAD system is a computer-aided dispatch system. So basically all the calls that we get and then we dispatch cars to have to go into this CAD system, and we need an RMS system that integrates with the CAD system fluidly. We need a full records management package. We also wanted to integrate with our E911 system. Our E911 system, basically when you call 911, we want our RMS system to take that information automatically and put it into the computer system. Right now, our dispatchers have to manually type that information into the computer. We also want on-scene digital report preparation by our officers. The future of police work is right here on a cell phone. We want to be able to take reports, take pictures of evidence, and have information at the palm of our hand, which this new system will eventually allow us to do that. We also want a modern software solution. Currently, our current RMS system and a lot of competitors that we looked at, we would still have to maintain servers. Maintaining servers is very expensive. The new system we're looking at would be in the cloud. Not only is it in the cloud, it's in the most secure government cloud, most secure cloud on the market right now, which is the Microsoft Azure. Additionally, we also want to be able to officers to be able to issue tickets digitally. Currently, a lot of our tickets are handwritten. What happens when we handwrite tickets is we have to eventually manually enter those into our system. Currently, I have about 1,600 VCO tickets that were issued this summer that we have to manually enter. So if we go to this new system, eventually we're not going to have to enter any tickets into the system. They'll automatically be entered in by the officer on scene. Next slide, please. So these are some of the other products we looked at. 365 came on top. We did have a team that looked into this, all of these companies. It included Deputy Inspector Bill Dodge, Sergeant Alexander Nielsen, Al Perez, our Director of IT, Mike Corbett, and myself. Rocco Walsh, who was our Lieutenant in charge of our Records Division, and Dave Frazier was involved as well. Next slide, please. So these are the top 5 companies that we looked into. These are the metrics that we want for our new system. As you can see, 365 Labs checks all the boxes. For price-wise, the implementation year one is going to cost $199,000, and we'll have an annual cost of approximately $175,000 annually going forward. Currently, our current provider, this is an increase from our current provider. Currently, we pay $60,000. That product will no longer be available, so no matter what product we go to, we will be paying more money. Next slide, please. So potential savings. So we're no longer going to need servers. We'll be able to get rid of 3 servers in the police department. And their servers cost about $6,000 a year to keep cool. There's also it costs between $6,000 and $26,000 to replace them, and generally they have to be replaced every 5 years. Next slide, please. So the potential savings, as I said, will be 3 servers down. We can be up to $78,000 a year in savings every 5 years. Currently, we have a revenue share. We have our parking tickets, our digital parking tickets. We have a revenue share program. Currently, last year we gave that company $60,000. If we go to 365 Labs, we'll be able to recoup. We'll be able to hold on to that $60,000 here in Long Beach. Additionally, the police department purchases approximately 3 vehicles a year. To upfit those vehicles with the current technology, it's $15,000 per vehicle, so there's a potential savings of $45,000 a year with that. And also the heating and cooling costs with servers, it costs about $6,000 a year to keep those servers, each individual server cool. Getting rid of 3 servers, that's about an $18,000 a year savings. So all told, it's potential of $123,000 a year in savings. So again, we're going from $60,000 to $175,000, but we're also looking at a potential of $123,000 a year savings on our annual costs with this product. And an additional savings every 5 years, we might see a $78,000 savings because we won't be replacing these servers that we currently have. That's all I have. Is there any questions?
Got questions from the council?
Just one. This might be an Al question since it's a little shifting from a server-based system to a cloud-based system, how does the risk shift now that the vendor is responsible for security? You know, are they susceptible to denial of service attacks or, you know, things like that?
Yes, this product is on the Azure Gov Cloud, which all the 3-letter agencies use. So in terms of denial of service attacks, in terms of security profiles, this is the highest security profile that a cloud provider, commercial cloud provider has.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Anybody else?
Just a comment. I really appreciate how you've laid out this presentation to detail, because 5 of my questions before I went through it were answered about annual savings and moving forward with the future and using something that's looking forward instead of trying to piecemeal something together from the past. So I just wanted to say thank you.
Thanks. Have a great team.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Rich and Al.
Question from the public. Mike?
Mike DeLore, Long Beach. Oh, up here?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
I don't think it is.
David?
There it is.
Yeah.
Earlier.
The parking aspect of it, the parking ticket. When an end user, an officer, or is about to write a ticket, pull somebody over, will that alert them to a potential scofflaw and all of the data that's on the history of this vehicle, so as to, if a person's walking, let's say a parking code enforcement person, and comes across a vehicle that's got expired registration, or you're going to issue a overtime parking, and it's alerted, can it alert you that this vehicle has 10 outstanding tickets and is a scofflaw?
We can put our local scofflaws in there. It has a potential to do so, yes.
Because I know years ago, there were a lot of scofflaw tickets out there before your, your time there, and we can get a lot more revenue, I think, that way as well. The other question I have is security. What are the administrative security as far as who's authorized to access the data on this system? Is it the acting police commissioner and its designates?
Yeah, there'll be different levels of access. Obviously, the detective division will have, the leader of the detective division, the brass of the department will have the highest access, and our system administrators will have high access as well. And then that level of access goes down as you go lower in rank.
And that would be, the authorization would come from the police commissioner's office?
Yes, sir.
Okay. That's all my questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? We have a couple. Bless you.
Wanda Brooks, you said that most of the information with this system is going to be used on a telephone?
We have the potential to operate from a telephone with this system. That's really the future. Right now, we have actual computers that we have to put in a car, which is very costly. So in the future, it has the potential to, officer has the potential to operate and do reports over a cell phone.
So in the future, in the future, when the information is going to be able to go on the cell phone, or you're going to have separate cell phones?
Well, each officer would have to be issued a cell phone.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. That's a good question.
Hi. Good afternoon, Brian Kleiman. Is the GPS systems also going to be on the phone? Because a lot of the GPS systems, the same, all police cars in Nassau County are outdated. And the second thing is, it's amazing that these hackers can do this to hospitals or Suffolk County, and there was a whole blame game. These people should be dealt with. This is a serious breach of...
Yeah, we're hoping to avoid that with this product, yes.
Yeah. So in terms of, it's not just cost savings, it's more efficient and for safety.
Yes, sir.
Right. So the GPS on the cars are a little outdated. The phones would actually provide a better GPS.
Yeah, we don't have GPS technology in our vehicles, but these phones would have GPS capabilities.
Is that a good idea to have GPS in case,
Absolutely.
again, of an emergency? And it's terrible what happened to the people in Tennessee and all that ravage. We still have 2 months to go. We still have the anniversary of Sandy. This is very scary because the law enforcement needs to have.
Well, as you mentioned that with this system, if we do have an event like the hurricanes down south right now or another superstorm Sandy, we won't be offline. As long as we have a cell phone reception, we'll be fine. We'll be able to get online.
And the last thing is a car knocked over the speed limit. The guy was drunk driving. A speed indicator. I don't know how effective that is. If a person doesn't know that they're speeding and it says, 40 miles an hour, I should slow down. I was hoping they would have some type of camera, or even if there isn't a camera to enforce tickets, a camera just to see what's going on as a law enforcement. That's like the main road here. And to have, I don't know if that's a state approved or if they get, some type of camera, just in case
if you're talking
there's
about
ever
a speed camera,
chase.
that would require state legislation.
That does.
Yes,
Not just for the tickets, just for monitoring or surveillance of a road, just.
Sure, we do have some camera systems out there. Yes, sir.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Any other questions? All right, thank you.
Thank you, Rich.
Item number 8 is a resolution authorizing settlement of certiorari proceedings.
Okay, as mentioned, this item is to allow for a certiorari settlement with Broadway Versailles condominiums at the 400 block of East Broadway. Ray Flammer is here if you have any questions.
Any questions from the council? Any questions from the public? Okay,
Nice and easy, Ray.
thank you.
Item 9 is a resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into a contract for the replacement of residential water meters with the lowest responsible bidder.
Okay, so this item is to award a contract to the lowest responsible bidder of 4 bidders to Core and Maine. $2 million of this contract will be reimbursed through an Environmental Facilities Corporation grant. The lowest responsible bidder was not the low bidder. However, the lower bidders did not meet the specifications by providing electronic magnetic meter for residential use as specified in the contract documents. H2M engineers and our city engineer, Russell, are here if you have any further questions. Russell, did they want to prepare a presentation as well, or? No?
Yes, so H2M is here to answer any extra questions you might have.
Okay, it's not a presentation. All right.
All right, got questions?
The cost of this, it's 4.6 million, 4.7 million, but it, 4 million is available in an account, and the balance, it says remaining balance of 238,000 will be available from grant funds, but it also says the project will be partially funded through a $2 million grant. So the 2 million is not going into this project? Are you saying basically only 400,000 of the 2 million is going in?
Ina, do you want to answer that? I think it's easier for you. I think the $2 million is a funding account that we use to pay the bills, and then we get reimbursed through the grant. Remember, the grant money we have to spend first to get reimbursed, but I'll let Ina answer it.
I can't hear you, Ina.
I think you have to turn it on.
The microphone may be off.
Good evening, Ina Resnick, City Controller. Dan just said it. We had borrowed $4 million in '23 and $667,000 in '22, and of the total amount of $4,667,000, the city had spent about $200,000. So in order to pay for this contract, we have majority of the contract cost we have in cash in the banks, and once we're going to start spending, we'll be submitting for reimbursement to the EFC and replenishing these balances.
Ina, my question is, we have 4 million, we have 238, we have 2 million. Of that 2 million is only the difference between the 4,258 and the 4,698 being used?
So the way that the capital plans were approved, the full amount of $2 million can be used towards the project. If the city will decide not to go forward with additional phases of this project, then the balance of $2 million not used towards this contract can be used to pay down debt.
Okay.
If I can, Roy, just so you understand that, this only covers the residential water meters. The second phase of this project will also include commercial water meters. So the funding, the $2 million grant, is for both, right, Ina?
I believe that $2 million is just for the residential.
Oh, just for the residential? Okay, sorry.
All right, I'm just, I'm looking at the numbers, adding it up, and I
It
just...
doesn't add up.
It's, well, whatever. All right. Thank you, Ina.
Any other questions on the council?
Yeah, I have. The 8,300 meters, is that represent all of the residential water meters in the city? And if not, what percentage of the residential water meters is that?
The difference between this and this is coming out of, that's coming out of this.
Yeah, that covers all the residential meters.
Does cover, okay, great, thanks. The cost here, does this also include all the support hardware, software, the installation, and the training to use the system?
Yes, that bid cost includes the software integration, and training.
Okay, and is there an annual maintenance fee after the first year, I assume, for the system? And if so, what is that?
There is a annual software hosting fee. And I'll just grab my notes here to give you an idea what the price is going to be. That will be worked out through contract with the meter manufacturer annually. But it's in the magnitude of $35,000.
35, okay, thanks.
And, wait, I'm sorry, go ahead. Who's
You
going
want
to
me
pay
to keep
that?
going, or are you following up on?
I'm following up on your
If you
question.
follow, then go ahead, because I'm going on to a different
Right, so
topic.
that's 35,000.
That's a rough magnitude of the cost for the software hosting fee
Annually.
annually.
Right, okay.
Okay. So,
I wanna clear that
and I guess this one's probably going to get a little technical. So we're spending an extra $865,000 so we can get the electromagnetic meters. And apparently this is the only company that provides residential electromagnetic meters. Can you talk about what the advantages are, why we want to use electromagnetic water meters?
Sure. Before I get into the benefits. Okay. All right, before I get into the benefits of the electromagnetic meter, which was determined as part of a alternate analysis report that H2M prepared for the city, I just want to highlight that price difference that you're seeing from the low bidder. The lowest bidder was Ferguson Waterworks, and looking at the breakdown, their price did not include cost associated with what we call the endpoint. So this system includes a water meter, and then there's a piece of equipment, the endpoint, that gets attached either to a meter pit lid or the outside of a home, and that basically is the radio that communicates between the meter and then the base station that will be located potentially at City Hall. And the reason for that is because their system has an integral endpoint at the meter. As part of our analysis, we ruled that out as a system that would be compatible with the city's arrangement, because we're looking to do a radio read system. So if the radio itself is inside the home, right now we're estimating about 7,500 meters out of the 8,300 are located within the home, then it's going to significantly decrease the accuracy and the ability for the system to communicate back and forth. So through the analysis that we prepare, we determined that that radio endpoint should be outside of the home. So that is one of the primary reasons why that low bid is significantly less than the second and third bidder. As far as the benefits that were highlighted as part of the report, the number one of the big concerns that was discussed with the Department of Public Works was the potential for sediment or air to be within the water that flows into homes. So an electromagnetic meter is not affected by that. It doesn't have any moving parts inside. So the traditional meter that you may see in service currently is a mechanical type meter. It has moving parts that could get scaled up and affect the accuracy. So the electromagnetic type does not. That was one of the primary benefits. We saw, just based on documentation between the meters, the electromagnetic meter had a higher accuracy over the lifespan of the meter itself. Census has its own licensed radio frequency, so that's important as well. This way there's no interference with any emergency services frequencies, so that was one of the big benefits for that. As well as less pressure loss through the meter, again, because there's no moving parts inside. And also that particular meter, as part of our analysis, we had multiple meter manufacturers perform cell or radio studies in the city, and Census came back with the least amount of equipment that was needed to achieve the highest accuracy and communication. So there was a smaller capital cost.
Okay. What is the lifespan on these meters?
20 years.
20 years, okay.
What'd you say?
20 years?
20, thank you.
And this is, I'm going to ask a nerdy engineer, are these things basically a Venturi flow meter?
No.
Okay.
No. A Venturi flow meter works off of differential pressure.
Right.
This works off electromagnetic field.
Okay. Are there other municipalities that have used these meters?
Yeah, as part of our research, we worked closely with Core and Main, along with other meter suppliers and manufacturers. And this particular meter is used widely across the states, and in particular, they have numerous customers in New York and in New Jersey.
Okay, and what's been did you reach out to any of those customers to see?
Yeah,
what
some of
their-
which are clients of H2M. As part of our report, we reached out to get recommendations, and to date, it's been positive feedback.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Just one question. Make sure it works. What powers, it's a radio transmitter. What powers it?
All the equipment that's at the home is powered by battery.
So how long do the batteries last?
So the battery is what dictates that useful life, and it's 20 years.
The battery has a life, transmitting for 20 years.
Yes, and there's a full 15-year warranty and a 5-year prorated warranty, which was the highest among the competitors that we researched.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, 5-year warranty?
The 20-year warranty consists of a 15-year full warranty and a 5-year prorated warranty.
And I'm assuming because it's no moving parts, there's not as much maintenance, expected maintenance for these?
Correct. For these type of meters, it's basically you use them until the end of their useful life and they get replaced. There's no routine maintenance or repairs that would be made to them.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks.
No problem.
Any other questions on this? Questions from the public? Mike? Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry about that.
Mike Delory, Long Beach. Could you name a few of the other municipalities that have had this system in place?
John.
I'm not going to specifically name the municipalities. That's the client list of the meter manufacturer. So I don't think it's in my position to provide that information.
And the client list of the meter manufacturer. Who is the meter manufacturer?
So to clarify, the meter manufacturer is Census, and the local distributor or supplier is Core and Main, who the project would be awarded to.
So how could we determine that? The reason I'm getting at these questions is, how do you rate the Badger meter system compared to the Census system?
H2M prepared a report that provided analysis between the different meters.
And has that report been submitted to the council?
It's been submitted to the city, yes.
Has that been reviewed?
Yes.
If not, I'm going to ask, not tonight, I'd like to review it. The reason I'm asking you, I've had experience with the metering of water metering, and I agree with you on the radio transmitter, the endpoint. That is where you're going to have the biggest problem.
Yeah, I might be able to give you a little bit more information that might help, since you specifically mentioned Badger. Badger, if you look at the bids that were received, was not a bidder, and the reason for that is Badger's advanced metering infrastructure consists of a cellular network. So there was some very specific disadvantages in why we did not incorporate that into our specifications. Primarily increased annual costs, and the communication is all based off of an existing cellular network. So we're limited to whatever the coverage is currently in Long Beach. So the report concluded that a radio system would be better.
Have you tested the communication, done like a in-field testing of any of these units in place here in Long Beach?
The meter manufacturers did a preliminary radio propagation study. Census came back with the best results, the highest accuracy, and that will be conducted again as part of this contract if it's awarded to Core and Main.
So is this contract based upon, can the contract be structured in a way where this is 8,300 units, residential units?
Okay, Mike, I'm sorry to interrupt. So it's come to our attention that there's perhaps a suspicious package in the room. We don't think it's a problem, but I think we're going to, in caution, we're going to adjourn the meeting right now. So if you could calmly just vacate the room, we'd appreciate it. I don't think there's any cause for alarm and emergency, but we're being cautious here. I'm sorry, Mike.
That's okay. Safe to, sorry.
Well, I didn't want to interrupt your comment, you
No, this
making
is-
good points, but,
This is too big of an issue. I'm looking for the citywide.
right.
And also, there's a Walks Water project going on as well, which I try to incorporate it.
Yeah.
But I'll pick it up later.
Yeah, all right, thank you. If we could resume tonight, we will, but that might take a long time to ascertain the nature of this package, which I believe is just mundane, if that's the right word, non-threatening.
All right. All right, for our viewers at home, we're going to, the meeting's going to be temporarily adjourned due to a security issue. If we do reconvene tonight, we will start a new video that will be labeled Part 2.
Well, they should get a bomb dog, I guess.